over time. But one thing has stayed consistent. Celebrating 30 years on the air on WROI is the first federal program. Hosts may have changed, but the program is still the same. Now continuing a long-standing tradition, streaming on the First Federal Facebook page and on WROI. It's time for the First Federal program.
November the 14th, it is time for the First Federal program as we welcome Todd to the studio this morning. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Randy. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Got Tanner with us today on camera. We'll be doing sports. Bryan Bell from First Federal Financial Services, our LPL representative. Welcome to join us in on the conversation today, Bryan. Been an interesting week, Randy. Snow.
It's one of those things they say, welcome to Indiana. You're going to see all 4 seasons in one day or 1 week, and I think this has been the week.
Yes. Then you throw the Northern Lights in,
on
that. Did you see the Northern Lights?
I did not. Living in town, you got to get outside, and of course in basketball a few nights I didn't make it.
That's true, yeah, you were busy.
But yeah, I saw lots of pictures. It looked great, looked cool.
You see him, Bryan?
I couldn't stay up late enough.
Well, it was interesting. My daughter texted me from Seattle, that's where she lives, and she was seeing lots of her friends posting pictures and asked if we had seen them, so we went out and saw them, and they were pretty awesome. I saw some pictures from people in Rochester, and even as far south as Florida.
Cool. Once in a lifetime thing, they say, but you never know anymore.
Well, yeah,
the way things happen.
I've seen them like 2 or 3 in the last few years, and before that, I've always hoped to see them. And actually, the weather's still, if it wasn't cloudy, supposedly last night and into the night, there's still a chance.
Okay.
So if you see a break in the clouds, go out and check that out. The Aurora Borealis, always kind of a neat thing to see. And saw reds and greens, and that's pretty awesome. So we have Bryan Bell with us, our special guest today from First Federal Financial Services. It's that time of year for Medicare sign-ups, so we'll be talking in depth about that.
Yes.
We have a Medicare trivia question.
Okay.
Oh my.
You can answer at the end of the show, but I think I didn't know this. What was the year Medicare was signed into law? 1945, 1955, 1965, 1975. Tanner, do you have a clue?
I'm going to have to go with my best guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Bryan, do you know?
We'll have to go.
I think I can get it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say, we'll let him guess first, and I'll guess when he guesses.
Well, Bryan has a career from Social Security before he came to First Federal, so he has an inside track, actually.
And Randy's been on a roll, so.
This will end the roll, I'm sure. Unless I go with Bryan,
We'll let Bryan answer last.
That's
I think that's a good way to go.
Big weekend for football again.
It's that fun time where you get a little bit of basketball, you get some football, and
Yes. Still got high school football going on around the state. Regionals now, so
That's Marietta team still playing?
Yeah, it's exciting.
So who's playing?
North Miami. We'll be hosting South Adams at North Miami, so that's a big one there. And then Pioneers hosting LaVille.
Okay.
So, and if Pioneer and North Miami both win, they'll face each other next week in the semi-state. So,
cool.
Have they played yet?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah, they did. Yes, they did, because they're in the same conference. So, that was a win by Pioneer because they were undefeated. So
it's that time of year. It's always interesting the travel too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we see that in sectional too now, but
the South Adams North Miami is a rematch from last year's regional, except for it was at South Adams last year. So South Adams gets that travel to the countryside in North Miami this year.
Good luck to the Warriors tonight.
Yeah. Coach Joe Grant.
Yes.
So here's going to be sunny and 70 in Bloomington tomorrow. Perfect football weather.
November 15th.
Yeah.
And Indiana's still undefeated after their win at Penn State. And it was the first time really they got tested this year. In a way, at Iowa, they got tested too. And at Oregon. Okay, I'll take back what I'm saying. But what I meant was being down late in the game.
Right.
Finding a way to come up with a heck of a last drive and probably the catch of the year in college football.
So, love to listen to Don Fisher on that
Yeah,
call
sure.
as well, because he got the Learfield call of the week.
I'm sure he did. I didn't hear it, but I'm sure he did.
The Learfield call of the year. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I think tested was correct.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That was probably the highest blood pressure of all the IU fans
Well,
this season.
Penn State's one of those teams. I mean, you don't want to just look
Yes.
at their record because you know they have talent all over the
Well,
place.
yeah, they were
but
picked to be in the semifinals. They
Yeah.
still probably have 10 or 12
Right.
NFL draft picks.
They just had no. Their head coach is gone, starting quarterback out for the year. So,
Yeah.
but their back looks like he's got a bright
Yes.
future.
Yeah.
So, so Indiana hosts Wisconsin tomorrow, who's 3-6. Coming off a big win last week at home against a then ranked Washington team. Wisconsin's 3-6 on the year, like I said, but Indiana's 28.5-point favorites. That game's at noon on the Big Ten Network.
You know, the one thing I like it listening to Signetti's pre-games, post-game interviews, and everything else. They treat each game the same way. They will treat Wisconsin the same way they treated Penn State, the same
Yeah.
way they treated Oregon, because he's like, you have to. It's
Oh, yeah.
Big Ten football.
Yeah.
It's you
College
know,
football.
It's
I
college
mean,
football.
It's fluky things happen.
You go in there and thinking you're going to walk all over somebody's when you're going to be on the other side looking, going, oh,
Yeah.
Now, I
That
know
just
Purdue
happened.
fans are going to play Washington. They don't
Yeah.
like the Washington loss last week, right?
Right. That's got a storyline within itself. Former head coach Ryan Walters is the defense coordinator at Washington.
yeah.
Which, so, he'll be out for blood, I'm sure, his defense. But I was thinking in my head, there's not too many guys on Purdue team this year that played a lot.
Yeah, they don't even know who he is.
They have beat too many guys. So
The
we
Purdue
don't
fans
know.
want to beat Walters.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We just want to win. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, we're creeping up on some historical lows for different categories. But that game's at 7 o'clock tomorrow night on Fox Sports 1. Washington's a 15.5-point favorite. And Notre Dame in action tomorrow. It's actually the college game day game tomorrow. They're 7-2, traveling to play number 22 Pittsburgh, who's also 7-2. Notre Dame's 12.5-point favorite. That game's at noon on ABC.
Okay, that's 12 kind of surprised me a little
Yeah,
bit, especially
I had thought, but
Notre Dame's. We'll see.
did you see what Pittsburgh's coach, stupidly in my opinion, said this week?
Did he give
He
some
pretty
bulletin
much
board
said-
material?
He
If
doesn't
they
care
have,
about games.
yeah, doesn't care as much about this game because it's not a conference game.
No.
Why would you
Sounds
say
like
that?
bulletin
I mean,
board material, yeah.
Or lower the
Yeah.
confidence of your own team.
No,
It's
I
kind of
mean,
weird motivation. They're
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
motivate the
Yeah,
team.
yeah. So it'll be interesting. And Notre Dame sure looked good in the second half last week against
Yeah.
Navy. First half, a little sloppy, which Navy's hard to defend against that option. But second half, they were locked in and took care of business.
Getting down to the final
Yeah,
few weeks
it's.
here.
I mean, brackets keep getting released every Tuesday. So
Yeah.
right now, Indiana would be the 2 seed, playing the winner of Texas and
I'm not sure.
I can't remember if it was Ole Miss or Texas Tech off the top of my
I
head.
think it was Ole Miss.
It was Ole Miss.
Yeah, I think so.
And then
There's
Notre
been a
Dame,
couple different
Notre Dame
ones,
would be
'cause-
playing Oregon.
Yeah, because at one point they had in that bracket where Notre Dame
Yeah.
could be playing Indiana
Right.
again, but now
Right.
they kind of moved that around.
Yeah, so it'll keep moving.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
keep shifting.
I wish Disney or ESPN they would figure that out.
Yeah, me too.
You ain't the only one.
Me too. Last night I had to do a free trial of a different service to watch Purdue.
Yeah. I was gonna
so-
say this is probably
Just
going to
remember
cost
to
me.
cancel it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm doing that today.
It'll cost me
But
more
I get
money with
Yes.
the, that $20 credit they gave me. I'm gonna have to spend on
I know.
another.
It's-
yeah,
Yeah, it's been now this is the 15th day
yeah.
going on. So
So, which is worse, the government shutdown or the sports? the sports?
Well, right now the way it's affected me, the sports.
Yeah, I guess it would.
every day-to-day life.
Yeah,
That's relative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we do recognize those federal
Oh,
employees.
Oh,
100%.
yeah. Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But affecting me,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Pro football, Colts good win over in Berlin last week.
Yeah.
They have a bye week now.
What a comeback.
Yeah, rest up and get a little healthy in some
Yeah.
areas.
They need.
They go to Kansas City next week.
That'll be a good challenge.
Yeah, my Broncos host Kansas City this week, which will be it's a big one for both teams.
Right.
And the Bears travel to Minnesota this week. Bears are 6-3. Vikings are 4-5. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites. That game's at 1 o'clock on Fox.
I suppose that's just because they're home.
Yeah, division rival home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
should
the
be
edge a
cool.
little bit.
In college basketball, a bunch of games going on this weekend. Butler, who's off the 3-0 start, they travel to Southern Methodist tomorrow at 2 o'clock on the CW. SMU is also 3-0. Notre Dame's 3-0. They travel to Columbus, Ohio to play Ohio State, who's 3-0, Sunday at 12:30 on Fox Sports 1. Indiana out to a 3-0 start. They play Incarnate Word, who's 2-1. That game's Sunday at 5:30 on the Big Ten Network. And Purdue, who's out to a 3-0 start, hosts 3-0 Akron Sunday at 7:30 on the Big Ten Network following the Indiana game.
Purdue played Alabama last night.
Yeah,
So is that a little letdown coming from Alabama to go to Akron?
And Akron's a solid little MAC school. I mean,
Yeah.
Purdue should win, but don't overlook this game
Right.
because Purdue goes to the Bahamas next week to play Memphis, then either Wake Forest or Texas Tech. So it doesn't stop. I mean, they have a gauntlet of non-conference, and they should with their roster. Matt Painter probably wants to get them tested early and often. So,
Yeah, I used playing Incarnate Word.
but they got Kentucky and Louisville, some others.
Yeah, they got some
better than the
I
has
like
been in
that,
the
Taylor. You're
past.
defending IU's schedule.
It's better than it was under Mike Woods, is what I'm trying to say.
That didn't have anywhere to go but up from that schedule.
So a lot of good basketball games going on.
You know, too, somebody asked me the other day if Darren DeFries would have been the coach a few years ago, if the Hoosier Classic would
Yeah, the
stay
Crossroads,
in
yeah.
the Crossroads, if IU had stayed in it.
Yeah.
And I said, I have a feeling yes.
Probably,
They probably would have. I'd like to see that come back.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see a 2-day.
With
add
more
some more
schools. Yeah,
Indiana
we got
schools.
lots. Yeah,
Making a 2-day thing, you know,
Yeah.
either a Friday, Saturday,
Yep.
or a Saturday, Sunday.
that would be fun.
I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, as a basketball fan, Indiana,
Yeah.
bring those
Yeah.
schools in. You don't always get to play. Yeah, it was neat to see Notre Dame.
Maybe we get
you know,
First Federal to sponsor that or something.
I know there's a lot of high schools in Indiana. For example, Kokomo did this. Used to have a big sectional.
Yeah.
Now they have a tournament in December where it brings
Yeah,
back the
Kokomo's got a huge 2-day
And
tournament.
Lafayette has one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could do men's one day, women's another day. I mean, yeah.
Load it up. You
Yeah.
know.
So
People stay up late to watch basketball, so
Yeah.
you could take it as late as you need.
Yeah.
9 o'clock start for a game or something.
yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
So yeah, and Purdue, I do have to mention that they did beat number 8 Alabama on the road last
They did.
night. So
They did.
gotta throw that in there.
Yeah.
You guys are having fun with football. I gotta have fun with basketball. So.
I
Purdue
understand.
people are
No, that was
glad
good.
basketball
Yes.
started.
That's a good game.
Yes.
It was.
Well, they needed the women's program lost one this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. I'll just leave it at that. So, I got some tidbits here this morning. On this day, in 1888, the USC Trojans, then known as the USC Methodists, played their first football game
Wow.
quite a few years ago.
That was.
On this day, in 1981, the second NASA Space Shuttle mission, Columbia 2, returned to Earth.
Okay.
You guys remember that?
I remember
That
Columbia.
was a big space program.
Yeah.
I just remember watching it on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, one of those.
one of those that, yeah.
You know, this thing developed too. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets was released. The movie version. The book came out before that. Of course, they came out with, I don't know, 6 or 7 books and movies. But that's all I got for on this day. There was a lot more negative events than positive ones for today. So, today's National Family PJ Day, National Pickle Day. I'm not a fan of pickles, so I can't get on board with that one. National American Teddy Bear Day, National Seatbelt Day, National Spicy Guacamole Day.
Not a guacamole.
I'm not either. Operating Room Nurse Day, Loosen Up, Lighten Up Day. I like that one.
That's a good.
Have fun today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Children's Day.
Okay. Some interesting ones there.
Yeah.
So I picked out some highlights for upcoming events. The Salvation Army is looking for bell ringers from the 28th of November to Christmas Eve. You can call 574-835-1079 to learn more. Also, the FOP Lodge is doing Shop with the Cop. They're accepting donations. Donations may be made at the Sheriff's Office or the Rochester Police Department. That's a great cause, and we'll do an event with the kids later this year. And then also, Fulton County Leadership Academy is accepting applications for the next class. Applications are available at the Chamber Office or the Purdue Extension Office.
And I got one more event here. The Rochester Rotary Club selling fruit again this year to raise funds to support their Shoes for Students project. The Rochester Rotary Club provides shoes for needy students in Fulton County regardless of which school they attend. This year they're seeing an even greater need than previous years. By purchasing a box or 2 of fruit from a Rotarian, you are helping support the children of our county. Orders can be placed until November 20th, and the fruit orders will be delivered to you the week of December 8th. For more information or to place an order, please contact Kirk Hossman at 574-835-1079. 2356 or see Hossman at rtcol.com.
Always a good
Yep.
thing going there.
The holiday season coming up, obviously there's a theme there. We're trying to raise funds and for events and money for to help all our community out. So you don't have to support all of them, just pick one or two of them and support them.
Yep.
So bank news, bank is open today and tomorrow. I think we might just get right into our guest with Bryan Bell from First Federal Financial Services, LPL representative. Welcome, Bryan, to the show.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you for having me.
We have you on quite a bit. Sometimes this year is the Medicare enrollment time period, so we'll be talking a little bit about that. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background just to refresh our listeners' memory?
Yeah, I appreciate it. So before I came to the bank, I did work for the Social Security Administration for a little over 10 years, and then obviously I'm a financial advisor, so that's, we wear a couple different hats in the department, but the main gig is we're financial advisors, fully licensed through LPL Financial. We can help you with all your financial needs there. But coming from that world, there's a great need to serve with Medicare enrollment, people turning 65, and what type of health insurance you're going to have for the rest of your life in retirement. So knowing a little bit about that, I thought that would be a great opportunity to add that to our toolbox at First Federal. So we've been doing that, I think, for a little over 5 years now. But right now, Medicare open enrollment, and if you watch any type of daytime television, you know it is, and it's obviously October 15th, and it ends on December 7th. So we're definitely heavy with that right now, helping people make that decision. There's been a lot of changes from the past year with the Advantage plan space. So it's always healthy to review that. Formularies change within the drug plans every year, so it's always healthy to review those plans and make sure you're on the right plan for you. Yeah.
So there's a specific time period you need met if you're turning 65 soon, right?
Yeah.
And that time period again is?
Yeah, so if you're turning, there's different enrollment periods. So if you're turning 65, they call that the initial enrollment period. That's 3 months before and 3 months after your birthday month, and that gives you the opportunity to sign up for what type of insurance you need to supplement Medicare. And just to add a little bit to that Medicare space, just to water it down, Medicare itself, so it's A and B, right? It's the red, white, blue card, okay? And it's basically like a $2,000 deductible plan, and then you're on the hook for 20% after that. So just to water it down, you got to meet your $2,000, and then 20% of infinity. So that's why you have to get
Seems
something.
like a lot,
Yeah.
Bryan.
Yeah. So that's what you have to do, or you should. Our recommendation would do something. If it's an Advantage plan or a supplement in a drug plan, you got to pick either one of those paths. Yep.
So with the Medicare, how does one enroll in Medicare?
So you got to do it through Social Security. So you can. A lot of it's online. The government's back up and running, so that's a good thing. So the Social Security offices, they were essential, but just like with anything else, I'm sure they were bombarded and slow with the hard times with the government shutdown. But do go through Social Security. It's very popular to go through SSA.gov, so just go to their site and make sure it's .gov. The wonderful world we live in, there's opportunity for the crazy. So it's .gov, and then you can create a My Social Security account, which is really helpful and useful for your retirement years. It shows what your benefits are, what your A and B premiums are, B premiums, and then so go through the website, or you can call your local Social Security office and they'll set up an appointment too. Usually they're booked out a month and a half. So the online thing is nice, but not everybody has online. So that's what we do, and that's what we do. We can sit down with you, help you create that account, file online, kind of take the worries out. You don't have to sit on hold for a couple hours of Social Security. But that's really, it's call Social Security office or create a My Social Security account online. Those are really the kind of two popular ways to enroll in Medicare.
So if somebody's new to this, do they enroll in Social Security and Medicare at the same time?
Well, it's different for everybody. Yeah, it's a great question. So you can continue to work, and maybe you continue to work, and it's cost effective for you to go off your employer's health plan, and then you go on Medicare, and then you don't have to take your Social Security benefit because there's earnings limits when you take Social Security benefits. So maybe you're making a healthy wage, but it makes financial sense to go on Medicare, so you have that option. You also have the reverse. So let's say you're turning 65, you love your job, everything's going great, and health insurance is affordable. at 65, as long as you have credible coverage, which we can get into that, but that's, you just gotta, if you're actively working for an employer and you have a group health plan, then you don't need to sign up for Medicare. There is a common, I would say, misconception, because there is a penalty if you don't sign up for Medicare, and because of all these commercials, it's like, oh, you gotta sign up or you're gonna be penalized. Well, there's a couple exclusions to that, and they would put you in what's called a special enrollment period, because you are actively working and you're covered under a group health plan, that you don't need to sign up. And there's also an IRS law that if, let's say you have an employer health plan and you have an HSA account, well, the IRS does not want you to actively participate in an HSA if you sign up for Medicare. So, because some people will sign up for Part A because it's free, and they're like, oh, I might as well. Well, not really, because then if you get audited and you made contributions, pre-tax dollar contributions, or you helped out with that HSA, then and the IRS finds out, then you're going to have to pay all that back, pay the penalties. So there's some strategy to it for sure, but there's definitely some options, and we're here to help. Everybody's situation is different. There's no cost. Sit down with us, free. Just review your plan, review your options. We talk to people all the time about that.
Bryan, what's going to happen? I know in the news now with this MDYs that Indiana has dropped. Is that going to affect a bunch of people that have anything locally?
Explain. Catch me up with MDYs.
I'm just seeing it on the news where Indiana's dropping it, and it's saying it's going to affect thousands of Hoosiers with their Medicare or insurance, basically, benefits. I don't know if you've seen anything on that or not.
I haven't, and not to be up to speed. Is that the subsidy part, or is that?
I don't know. That's what I didn't know. I wasn't sure which it was. So
I mean, there are a lot of changes happening, and that's kind of, we all know the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare, that those subsidies, those are being talked about. So that's kind of the other bridge gap people use from, like, when they want to retire before 65. They've been using the marketplace. Well, things are changing there, and that's going to affect a lot of Hoosiers. And then at Medicare, though, the networks are changing in like what they provide. So that could be what you're referencing, and that's definitely changed this year. It's Anthem and United Healthcare, big hitters, right? Big boys in that space, and they made a lot of changes in the Advantage Plan space. So it's
that's just come in, sit down and talk.
So it seems really complicated. I mean, because you got when you can sign up, you got A and B, then you've got C, D, and F, and all those kind of things. And then you've got subsidies, and it seems very complicated. So I'll give Bryan a testimonial here. I'm of that age now to think about that. So my wife and I sat down with Bryan, and Bryan really kind of cut through the red tape and made it seem very simple to us, and explained what we needed to know and timing. And I would encourage everybody to come in and make an appointment with Bryan, call Wendy Pfeiffer, or meet with Mark Blubaugh. We're here to help you out, and you do a lot of that this time of year. In fact, you said your schedule's packed.
Yeah, I'm, can't be mad that I'm busy, but yes, we're a couple weeks out, but it is, and that's what I try to do, is just try to make it simple, right? Just try to explain, here's the options. Don't get confused if something doesn't apply to you, right? Like, just don't muddy it up, but, here's your options, here's what is going to affect you, and here's some kind of tips that could help you save some money. It's really just, if you're struggling, just give us a call. You can reach me directly at 574-223-1705. You can call any branch; they'll get you to me, or Wendy and Mark. We'll get an appointment set up. But yeah, it's definitely a hot topic right now, and with the changes, it's definitely nice to sit down and just have someone help guide that and make sure that your doctors are in network, your drugs are covered. To go into that a little bit, those formularies. So inside of drug plans, the tier 1s through 4s. Those could change every year. So it is healthy to review that. Not always do they change, but we've seen a lot of that. It depends what pharmacy you go to. And a lot of people probably know this stuff because they've experienced it.
Okay.
But if you don't know it, then it's nice to kind of get a little tip before you get into it, for
So
sure.
that's why I could give you kudos for it, because you take the complexity out of it and explain it in simple terms. And
Well,
I appreciate
some people get caught up too with all those commercials on TV, and they don't always refer or explain for everybody's individual needs.
Yeah. I agree. I'm a little biased, yes, because I think a lot. You get the mailings and you see the commercials, and they want to sell you a policy. But where I come from is just I want to educate you. There's the two options. You can go the Part C or the Advantage plan route, or you could go the Medicare supplement and the drug plan route. And I really want to educate you on both of those, and then I'll help you get down whatever path you choose. So yeah, I am a little I just think the education piece needs to be there for sure, so people know what they're getting into.
So we've talked a little bit about new enrollment, but if you're already participating in Medicare, it's always good to kind of check out, are you in the right supplemental plans and Advantage plans too, right?
Yes, yeah, correct. If you're on a Medicare supplement plan, you probably have Plan F or Plan G. It is an alphabet soup. You mentioned that. Yeah, it's funny, but like, you know, they couldn't get any more creative, I guess. They just had letters. But those are great plans, and they are wonderful plans. Sometimes the cost can rise on those. You may not have very many options to change from one supplement to another after your enrollment period, but it's the Part D, it's the drug plan that can change every year. You'll get notified, or you should, from your carrier that maybe one of your prescriptions isn't going to be covered, or now it's a tier 3, so your copay went up. But it's always healthy to review that prescription drug plan for sure. And then if you're already on an Advantage plan, this is definitely the time to review, because those are really based by zip code and your providers within that network. And so it's definitely healthy to review those Advantage plans. And if you're sitting at home right now and you just have Part A and B, like I said, you got that exposure to that 20% infinity, you can get an Advantage plan. It may not be the right thing for you, but Advantage plans can literally cost $0. Obviously nothing's free, so there's a lot of exposure there, and we got to explain that to them, but it's definitely better than 20% of infinity, right? So, yeah.
We've been talking with Bryan Bell, First Federal Financial Services, LPL Financial Representative. Lots of experience in knowing what this is about, because you came from the Social Security world, and now you're in the financial services, a licensed representative, and you can also help out with needs other than Medicare. What are some other type of things you're assisting customers with this time of year?
Yeah, thank you. Just, it seems like people want to retire at the end of the year, or they want to retire, turn of the year, maybe have a little bit of leave built up, so they're going to use some vacation time in the winter. So no, we definitely help people with their financial plans and their retirement goals. What are their financial needs that need to be met there? So we sit down with them as well. And same thing, no cost. Let's just sit down and have a light and airy conversation. Are your financial goals and needs being met in retirement? Do you have enough income? Do you need to supplement your Social Security payment? Do you have another source of income from savings or pensions, which obviously are kind of going to the wayside because of the cost there. But yeah, we definitely sit down and help people financial plan the retirement, maybe even some goals for short-term needs. So we're definitely busy doing that as well. And it's been a unique situation, and helping people with Medicare, Social Security, and then being a financial planner, those things just merge together very happily. So it's been nice.
It's never too early to start planning for retirement either, right?
It's not, and that's the time variable is the number one thing. I even myself wish I would have started sooner, but if you just play with a compound interest calculator, you'll see that 5 years can make a huge deal. So like when you're in your 20s, maybe you are in a trade, or maybe you got out of college and you're like, I'll do that later. I really urge you to just really think about putting a little bit away, starting it early, because that time compounding interest is the variable that we can't control. And I heard a speaker the other day, Warren Buffett. So everybody, great investor, right? Makes the best, he knows what to invest in, and he's had his losses too. But someone pointed out the fact, I think, I'm going to mess this up, but he started investing. Someone got to him, and he started investing at age it was in his teens. It might have been 13.
Wow.
So the compounding that's happening for him right now, not that he's had things, he's smart, he is, but that compounding interest that's happened within the last 5 to 10 years is what's really driven his wealth. And he'll tell you about it, but it was an interesting fact, because you always hear, Warren Buffett, he's so smart when it comes to but it's really that timepiece too that's helped him out.
And he started with probably, minimal contributions initially, $10, $20, $50
Yep.
paycheck or something like that, and that's what that grows.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, it's great. Thank you for your insight today, Bryan. We really appreciate it. And if you can take something very complex because you're thinking about retirement, give Bryan a call, and he'd be happy to help you out.
Yeah.
What's your phone number
Yeah,
again?
thank you. Yeah, 574-223-1705.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank
So
you.
getting into when was Medicare enacted? 1945, 1955, 1965, or 1975?
I'm gonna go 65.
55.
I'll go with B.
B was 55. The reason you picked 65, Randy?
I just, because of the age 65 retirement, I don't know. I just,
What's the answer, Brian?
I do believe it's 55. I don't. I think 45 is a little too early, but I could be wrong on that.
It's 65, actually.
Oh,
That's when
I knew it wasn't 45.
President Johnson signed it into law at the Truman Presidential Library, because
Okay.
the seed was planted by Truman when he was president. So that's maybe
Ah.
how you got
I knew.
that
I
idea.
knew when Social Security started, so
Yeah.
like I was going off that. I was like, no, it's not 45, but well, that was a good question.
Thank you. So we'll close with words of wisdom by J. M. Barrie, Scottish novelist and playwright. Not in doing what you like, but in liking what you do is the secret for happiness.
sounds great. Brian, thank you. Tanner, thank you. Todd, thank you as well. We'll talk to someone again next Friday morning.